United Nations AP, the UN nuclear chief warned that Europe's largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine is completely out of control. Stand by for details. The UN nuclear chief warned that Europe's largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine is completely out of control and issued an urgent plea to Russia and Ukraine to quickly allow experts to visit the sprawling complex to stabilize the situation and avoid a nuclear accident.
The alarming report from the UN's nuclear chief. He says the war in Ukraine has left Europe's largest nuclear plant, quote, completely out of control. He warns the situation is growing worse by the day and immediate action needs to be taken to avert a nuclear disaster. ABC's senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in Ukraine.
Tonight, the head of the UN nuclear watchdog warning the Zaporizhzhia power plant in Ukraine is completely out of control. Rafael Grossi, the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, telling the Associated Press,
what's at stake is the nuclear safety and security of the biggest nuclear power plant in the European continent.
Ukraine accusing Russia of storing explosives, weapons and heavily armoured vehicles inside the plant, using it for cover to fire rockets at a nearby town.
Rafael Grossi, Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, said in an interview Tuesday with the Associated Press that the situation is getting more perilous every day at the Zaporizhzhia plant in the southeastern city of Enerhodar, which Russian troops seized in early March, soon after their February 24th invasion of Ukraine.
What we have in Zaporizhzhia, what we have in Ukraine, the situation is really a volatile one.
The United Nations nuclear watchdog saying every principle of nuclear safety has been violated. Their biggest concern, shelling making it too dangerous for inspectors to assess the damage. Ukraine accusing Russia of using the plant near the city of Zaporizhzhia as cover, allowing Russia to shell nearby cities without retaliation. Ukraine's president outraged.
This is the largest nuclear power plant on our continent, and any shelling of this factory is an open, brazen crime, an act of terror.
Every principle of nuclear safety has been violated at the plant, he said. What is at stake is extremely serious and extremely grave and dangerous.
Telling the Associated Press,
what's at stake is the nuclear safety and security of the biggest nuclear power plant in the European continent.
The Russians are now using the power plant as seal to fight Ukrainians. The Ukrainians cannot fight back in fear because if they do, the power plant going to erupt and whole Europe is going to blow up. The physical integrity of the plant hasn't been respected, he said, citing shelling at the beginning of the war when it was taken over and continuing information from Ukraine and Russia accusing each other of attacks at Zaporizhzhia. There is a paradoxical situation in which the plant is controlled by Russia, but its Ukrainian staff continues to run its nuclear operations, leading to inevitable moments of friction and alleged violence, he said. While the IAEA has some contacts with staff, they are faulty and patchy, he said. Grossi said the supply chain of equipment and spare parts has been interrupted, so we are not sure the plant is getting all it needs. The IAEA also needs to perform very important inspections to ensure that nuclear material is being safeguarded, and there is a lot of nuclear material there to be inspected, he said. When you put this together, you have a catalog of things that should never be happening in any nuclear facility, Grossi said. And this is why I have been insisting from day one that we have to be able to go there to perform this safety and security evaluation, to do the repairs and to assist as we already did in Chernobyl. The Russian capture of Zaporizhzhia renewed fears that the largest of Ukraine's 15 nuclear reactors could be damaged, setting off another emergency like the 1986 Chernobyl accident, the world's worst nuclear disaster, which happened about 110 kilometers 65 miles north of the capital Kyiv. Vibrant Media Hub news and current affairs coming to you right here on your social network channel. So don't forget to click like if you like our programs and videos or hit the subscription button for more news and current affairs coming.